Hello kitty queens and kitty beauty teas. I'm back with another client tutorial, so if you would like to see how I achieve this look, just keep watching. I'm going to start this tutorial off how I normally start them off. I'm just going to clean off my model's face, and to clean off her face I'm using some micellar water on a cotton pad. Once her face is all clean, I'm just going to go ahead and moisturize her skin using my Pond's moisturizer. Once her face is all hydrated, I'm just going to start on her brows. So first I'm brushing them out using my spoolie. Then I'm going to fill them in using my Nicka K eyebrow pencil. And this one is in the shade Black Brown. As y'all can see, her eyebrows are basically already perfect. So it's not really much I had to do. I'm just going to outline them and then fill in any sparse areas that I see. As you can see, she has pretty full eyebrows, but I wanted the front of her brows to have more of an ombre effect. So once I move towards the front, I'm just going to extend her brows out a little bit more. Then I'm going to start doing hair-like strokes to create little sparse hairs. And then I'm going to brush them out so it can all blend with the rest of the eyebrow. To clean up her brows, I'm going to be using my Nicka K concealer and my RK by Kiss concealer. Shade names are on the screen. First, I'm going to be going in with my RK by Kiss concealer because it's lighter. And I'm going to be using this to clean up underneath her eyebrows. Once the bottom of her brows are cleaned up, I'm going to take my buffing brush and just buff this concealer out. Now I'm going in with that Nicka K concealer and I'm using it to clean up the top of her brows. The brush that I'm using to clean up her eyebrows is from Crown Brushes. I'm going to see if I can find the link and put it in the description box. And the brush that I'm using to buff out her eyebrows is off Amazon. I ordered it in a 50-piece set. So if you're interested in either of those, I will have them in the description box for y'all. For an eyeshadow base, I'm going to be using my P.louise base, and it's in the shade Rumor Number 1. And I'm just going to be dotting this all over her eyelids using that same brush that I used to clean up her eyebrows. And once I have it all dotted on, I'm going to be going in with that buffing brush and just using it to buff out the product. I'm going to be going in with my Fit Me pressed powder in the shade Mocha, and I'm using it as her first transition shade. As you can see, this is like a pretty warm neutral tone brown, so it's perfect for a subtle glam look. Once I have that color built up to my liking, I'm just going to be taking my Fantasy palette, and I'm using that dark brown shade at the top, and I'm just packing this on the outer edge of her eye using that same blending brush that I used to apply the first shade. Before I move on, I'm just going to be taking a little bit more of that Fit Me pressed powder, and I'm applying it to the edge of the eyeshadow just to make sure they're well blended. I'm going to take whatever excess P.louise base is left on that brush and apply it to her lids. This step is optional. You really don't have to do this, but I just like to do it to ensure whatever eyeshadow I apply on her lids is pigmented. Now I'm just buffing this product out using my buffing brush. For her lid shade, I'm going to be taking this pink shade from the Fantasy palette, and I'm just applying this to her lid using my e.l.f. eyeshadow brush. Y'all know I love this brush. If you do not have this brush in your collection, you're really missing out, sweetheart. But I'm just patting this color on, and I like to pat it on just to make sure that the pigment is well built up and that the edges are well blended. I'm going to be taking this pigment from P.louise, and I'm just going to be using this to top off her eyeshadow. So I'm just packing it on the last shade that we used, and I'm using that same e.l.f. brush. When you're using a pigment, you don't really need an adhesive. I mean, if you want to go in with one, you can, but since I'm just randomly tapping this pigment on, I didn't really see a need to use an adhesive. Now I'm just going to be lining her eyes, and to line her eyes I'm using my black Nicka K liquid liner, and I'm using my e.l.f. liquid liner applicator. I'm taking a little bit more of that Fit Me pressed powder, and I'm just using it to blend out the edge of this eyeshadow. Now I'm taking my pink neon liner from Profusion, and I'm using it to add an accent line. This step is optional. You could have just left it as is, but y'all know I'm a little extra, so even the subtle looks gotta be a little extra. I'm going back in with that black liquid liner, and I'm using it to fix any errors. I applied the lashes off camera. I just went in with the, natural everyday pair, nothing too dramatic. Now we're getting into the face routine. So right here, I'm just applying some calamine lotion to her face just to make her nice and matte. I decided to take some of my Fenty loose powder in the shade Honey and just tap it throughout her brows to lighten them up. The look that I was going for, I wanted her brows to be a little bit more toned down, and this made them the perfect level. I'll already know I had to get a video of her eyes before I moved on to the foundation. Her eyes were just too stunning not to. If you would like to see this video, feel free to go to my Instagram. Link will be in the description box down below. Don't forget to follow me while you're there. Now we can step into the foundation. As you can see, I picked out 3 shades, and now I'm just seeing which one matches up better with her neck. I went with the black opal one, and it's in the shade Beautiful Bronze. Now I'm just applying it onto her skin. To blend out her foundation, I'm going to be using this dense Real Techniques brush. Now I'm taking my Real Techniques sponge and just using it to further blend out the foundation. I just went in with this step to make sure everything was even before I moved on. To highlight her face, I'm going to be using my Nicka K concealer in the shade number 8, as y'all can see. Since this is a subtle glam look, I didn't really want to go too heavy with the contour. So to bronze up her face, I'm using my Juvias foundation stick, and it's in the shade Katsina. And I'm applying this to her skin using my Real Techniques foundation brush. I'm going in with my sponge to apply some of that foundation stick to her forehead, just so I can make sure I'm close up on her eyebrows. I have the foundation stick all applied. I'm going to go ahead and blend out her highlight. And to blend out her highlight, I'm using my Real Technique sponge, but I flipped my sponge to a clean side. I'm going to go ahead and set her highlighted areas, and to set them in place, I'm using my Fit Me press powder in the shade Toffee, and I'm just going to press it into her skin using that same Real Technique sponge. To set the contoured areas of her face, I'm going to be using my black radiance press powder, and I believe this one is in the shade Rich Mahogany. I'm going to be taking that same black radiance press powder, and I'm using it to sculpt out her nose. The brush that I'm using is actually the same type of brush that I use to buff out all of the products around her eyes. Like I said, I ordered this in a 50-piece set, so if you're interested, don't forget to check the description box down below. It's very, very affordable, and it will not break the bank. Now I'm taking my Fit Me loose powder, and this one is in the shade Hazelnut, and I'm using it to clean up under her contoured areas. I'm going to go ahead and line her waterline, and to line her waterline, I'm using my black gel liner, and it's from the brand She. You can find it at your local beauty supply store, and I applied it to her waterline using this disposable lip applicator. Once it's all applied, I'm just going in with that vibrant pink eyeshadow from my Fantasy palette, and I'm just applying it to her lower lash line. Once I'm finished under her eyes, I'm just going to be dusting away all of that baking powder from her face. And to dust it away, I like to use an eyeshadow blending brush, and I go over it with my Fit Me press powder. This one is in the shade Mocha. To highlight her face, I'm going to be using this shimmer shade from my Fantasy palette, and I'm taking it on that same blending brush and just applying it to her cheekbones and the apples of her cheek. I applied it to the tip and the bridge of her nose off camera. I'm going to take my setting spray and do a few passes over her face before we move on. Before the spray is all the way dry, I'm just going to press everything in using my Real Technique sponge. And now I'm going to go ahead and do her lips. So I'm doing an ombre nude lip. So first I'm going to be outlining her lips. And to outline her lips, I'm using my LA Colors dark brown eyebrow pencil. Since this will be an ombre lip, I'm outlining them first. And then I'm going in the center with a liquid lipstick. This one is from Absolute New York and it's in the shade Terracotta. Once I fully applied the liquid lipstick to her lips, I'm going to go ahead and reline her lips, and I applied some clear lip gloss on top. Once that's finished, we're basically going to be getting into the grand reveal, so I'm just going to let y'all watch.
I like it. Yes, I love it. Oh my god.
So as y'all can see, this subtle glam look was another success. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram for more content, and stay tuned for my next one. Bye bye.